What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Slizzy Izzy. I just wanted to kind of make like I guess you can say like my experience or like, I guess you could say like rate the crew MOTORFEST from like a solid 1 out of 10. And to be honest, I would give the game like a solid like 9.5. Like in all honesty, I really loved the game. And I waited like, not even just me, like most of the crew fans been waiting for a new game because the crew too, like it was just like, yeah, they kept updating the game like every now and then, but it was like it came to a point where the game was just dead and it was time for something new. Kind of the same thing going on with GTA, but I would say that the only reason it's not a 10, in my opinion, is only simply because, for one, I find it weird, and I know I can't be the only one. I find it weird that we can't drive our own cars in the races. Like for the Japan playlist, for example, like some of the cars in there, like you drive like the Evo, like the Skyline, and this and that. Like cars like those, like I have, and I know other people have. So it's like if we have those cars, like why are you giving us like a loan car when we could just use our own? And it was also like I had the thought like, what's the point of us buying vehicles and this and that if we can only realistically use them in like PvP or just like simply cruising around and shit like that. And one thing about like, obviously the map is smaller because the Crew 2 is basically like the whole United States pretty much. But the thing about the Crew 2 is like they had a fuck ton of races. Like, if y'all played the Crew 2, like you know exactly how many races there were. You had so many street races. It wasn't like you wouldn't get like 5 or 10 street races. You get like at least like 20 or more races. And it was the same with the boat races, the touring cars. Then you had the drag races. They didn't have too much, but like there's still a lot. But basically every vehicle in the game had a bunch of races in that class. And like in those races, you were able to drive the cars that you bought and upgraded and all that. But for some reason, like I honestly don't know what they were thinking when they switched that in this game. Cause I can actually go to it, like in terms of like all the playlists. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 15 playlists, and like, out of all these playlists, like they all don't have the same number amount, but let's just go to the Hawaii one, for example. There were 9 races in this one, right? Yeah, and it's like once you do that, it's like okay, I'm going to the next one. You finish this one, I'm going to the next one, this and that. And there's not many playlists to be honest. And I do like the whole like some of these playlists you need like a certain vehicle in order to do it. Like that was cool to me. But at the same time, it's like once you finish them, it's like you're done. Like yeah, they have like little challenges you can do and shit like that. And there's like they have cool rewards. Like some of them you get like shirts, you get money or like a vanity or whatever the case may be. But the thing with the Crew 2 is like, okay, I finished one race. Let me just look on the whole entire map and pick one out of like all these like 30, 50 other races that I can do. And I I bought the 4-wheeler for the off-roading addict, and I bought the boat for this. But like once I beat these two, I'm gonna buy the bike that I need for this. Then once I beat that one, I'm gonna buy the, I don't remember what the name of it was. But basically, like once I get these, like beat them all, like I'm done with the game. Like, and the only thing else left for me to do is like the challenges, which is like I go around collecting the little tokens and shit like that. But mainly, like the only realistic other thing to do is like PvP and the live summits. But like I'm not saying like the game is bad simply because it has like lesser races and like less things to do. Cause like I know the game just came out and all that, but I just feel like they could have done like, well, I know the map is like way smaller, but I just felt like they could have did more and had like more races. Cause like the thing about the Crew 2, like I just said, like they updated the game a lot, and like it started with the shit. What was it called? It started with the whole like movie. I can't remember. It's been a hot minute, but basically when they started like the whole motor pass and all that, like there was just more and more stuff to do. And then when the crap, I can't even remember the name. Basically, if you played it, like you know what I'm talking about, but they would have like it's basically like seasons, I guess you can say. Like every season had like a different theme or whatever. But with those seasons, they would add like new races to the map. Like some of the races, you had the like the police car things, whatever. It was part of the whole like movie shit. Like one of them, you would drive the police Dodge Demon, and like had to crash into the cars and this and that. But like every update, basically, like they added more and more races. I don't know if they're gonna do that with this game, because like I said, like it just came out, so like I'm not really tripping about it. But I'm just saying, like if it's gonna be like this for like the entire like game cycle, like, and the only thing they really like change are like the live summits and all that. Like, in all honesty, the game's not really gonna last like that long. Cause I, me personally, I pre-ordered the game. I bought the gold edition because like I want, like, why would I not want the wide body? Like, come on now. And like when it dropped, I was excited. Like I was on that shit like all day. I literally called off work just to play the game. But like after a few weeks after, like I started feeling like a little about the game. Like kind of like, all right, what can I do? And then, realistically, to be honest with you, like the only thing I do when I hop on this game is just like drive around. Like I'll invite my friends. We just drive around, cruise around the map and shit like that. And I will say that at the airport, like that long road, like we do be doing drag races and like rolls and shit like that. That should be fun. But like in terms of like when I hop on, I just don't feel like I don't really be in the mood to like play the game, if you know what I mean. Cause the reason I haven't like bought these yet, cause I know that once I finish them, like there's really nothing else for me to do. And the live summit, I already beaten like all the races on the live summit, so it's like, and I will say that the PvP in this game is fun as hell. Like if you never played it, like you have to give it a try. But yeah, like I finished like all these and shit. So it's like the only thing I can really do is either PvP or finish the playlist. But if I finish the playlist, there's nothing for me to do except for PvP. And I'm not gonna want to play it all the time. Even though it is fun and it's, I can't remember, is it 20 cars? It's either 20 or 23 cars basically in one race. And I will say that like even though it is fun, like I'm not gonna want to play it all the time because like it will just get stale like real soon. But the thing about the Crew 2 is like I just really like the fact that one, I can go do a race and I can go do another race without worrying about like beating them all in like one day. Because the playlist in this game, like you can beat like one playlist in one day, and you can honestly beat a lot of them in one. Like if you just sat down and played the game like the whole day, you can honestly beat all of them in one day. But one thing I will say that I like in this game, like while I was playing it was way easier to get money in this game than in the Crew 2. And I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but like the th- the easiest way I got money in the Crew 2 was by doing the hyper races because they gave you more than regular races. And if you played the Crew 2, there's one race in particular. It was from Detroit to New York, I believe. Yeah, I know it started in Detroit, but I don't remember where it went. Basically, the race was long as hell. Well, you got like over 600,000 just for doing the race alone. And like I would spend every, like I kept doing it, and then like I say, like a good hour or so, I'm already close to like a mil, like just doing that right so on. But shit, in this game, like just finishing like the playlist, like you basically have enough to buy like 2 cars, like off road and shit. And they also make it easier by doing the photo ops. The photo ops give you a lot of money. Like some of them give you like 18,000, 20, like depending on what it's for or whatever. And then you got the shit. I mean, PvP you really don't get a lot unless you come in like one of the front like spots. I don't know how much you get in first place, but I know that like it's different depending on where you finish the race at. But I will say that like leveling like up in this game, like the whole system's like way different. And one thing that like legend points, which is basically the icon points from the crew 2. Like, it is so harder to get like legend points, and I'm gonna just call it icon points. Harder to get icon points in this game than in the crew 2. Because in the crew 2, like you got those just like easy. Basically, you got it every time you leveled up and shit like that. And it's the same on here, but the thing about leveling up is like unless you're using a XP boosted car or some shit like that, like, it's gonna take you a little minute to like actually level up in itself because you really don't get much XP from like the races and shit like that. And I do like that they added new things to this. I think it's these, and there's a bike one where it has something to do with like leaning or something like that. But like aside from like all of that, like I really can't say anything bad about the game. Like like in terms of like negatives, like in my personal opinion, the only thing I really don't like that I would consider it a negative is simply just the fact that like there aren't. Actually, no, I'm not going to consider it negative because like the game just came out, so I can't really say anything about it. I'm gonna wait till like because this year's almost over to be honest. So I'm just wait till next year, probably like mid of the year to see what happens because I don't like people that bash the game and be like, oh, this is ass, this and that. Like the game just came out. Like why are you? Because we all know that whenever a game comes out, like it's not the same. Like in a few years after, a few months, like they always add shit. And this thing with the crew too, like they was adding new shit, new items like back to back to back. And honestly, like I still, I don't know. I would kind of put like I would put both of them together, like in terms of liking. In terms of handling, like this game is obviously way better. But like, if someone asked me what I like more, Crew 2 or Crew MOTORFEST, like that'd be a hard one. I'm not gonna lie. And also, like before I end the video, you thought I don't know why, but if y'all played the Crew 2, like before, I don't even know when they added them, but basically they added new cars. One of them, there was like a bunch of Audis. Uh, One of them was the RS. Was it the 7? I can't remember. Basically, they added a bunch of new Audis and they added 2 new Porsches. One of them was it the Cayenne? Let's see, Porsche. Yeah, the Cayenne. They added this one and they added the It was more like a. I mean, I guess you would call it like a. I honestly don't know what to call those kind of cars. Like it's not a van, and it's really like I don't know. Basically, they added 2 new Porsches and added a buttload of new Audis and some old ass Alpha car. But the reason why I bring those up is because the only cars out of those like they added into the game, this one was the only one that made it in. And I think it might honestly be in the stop. I don't know. And like I found that weird because like why are you gonna add like first of all they could have saved those cars for the game because like the game was literally like weeks out like a few weeks away from coming out anyway. But it's like why would you drop a few new cars and only one out of like I think it was like 8 in total like came into this game. It might be in this one. I don't know. 444. Hmm. Oh, the okay. Yeah, I don't know what like the Turismo would be classed like. It's a car, but like cars like these I hate because like you might as well just make it a van. But yeah, only like out of all those cars, this and the Cayenne were the only one to make it in the game. I don't know why. I don't know if it was intentional or like if there's gonna be an update. But that was that's my personal like take on the Crew Motorfest. Let me know what you guys think in a comment. And also Ubisoft, please add like a street race version of the Ram. Like the TRX is my favorite truck. Like yeah, it's cool that we have it off road and shit like that, but at least like make like because that's one thing the game really doesn't have like street racing trucks. Like the only one they have is the Raptor and that GMC. Is it the GMC? Yeah, and those are really much it. But that was my personal take on the game, and like I said, I can't really. I'm not gonna bash the game. I really don't have any negatives about it, and even if I did, I really don't have any like right to do it because, like I said, the game just came out. So obviously, like everything that is in the game is obviously not just going to like stay the same. Like they're going to change it. Like they're going to add way more cars in the future and this and that, and hopefully more events and everything. But I hope you have a good one and stay safe.